Good morning, everyone. So today we are going to be talking about 15 cryptos, 16 if you want to count Bitcoin as well, but 15 altcoins. We're going to be talking about 15 altcoins and what direction I think they're going in. And these are going to be 15 altcoins that I am personally watching and I am personally planning on accumulating if I haven't already accumulated them during this recent dip. And we're going to go over why I believe there is a huge possibility for more downside. But I also believe that we could possibly see a opportunity to continue on to the upside as well. But I am still somewhat bearish on this market, and there are many reasons for that. One of those reasons being that we had the Fed come out and they did the FOMC announcement. So pretty much Powell went up and pretty much gave his little speech, and things are pretty much the same. They really didn't give too much information there, but that's also not very good at the same time because we are still leading up towards March. And with that being said, there's definitely going to be a lot of volatility in the markets, and I believe that traders and institutional investors both alike are going to be using this to their advantage as far as creating bull and bear traps along the way leading up to that March date. On top of that, we also have things like Russia and Ukraine. We have the tensions going on between them, which I honestly believe people aren't taking into account as much as they should be. But anyways, let's go ahead and check this out here, which is the chart here. But anyways, with the whole Russia thing as well, Russia's actually came out and pretty much revealed that they are bullish on Bitcoin and crypto. And the US is actually, with Biden, is kind of becoming bearish, but I honestly don't believe that the whole thing with what's going on with that is going to, with Janet Yellen and Biden and things like that is not going to really fall through. And I just feel like it's just a tactic. But anyways, without going too far into that right now, I want to hurry up and get this video started because we have a lot of things to go over and cover ahead of us. So this is Bitcoin right here, guys. So right now what I'm looking at with Bitcoin is this here. We've been in a very, very, very sharp downtrend ever since we topped out over here around 69K, around that area right there. So with that being said, let's zoom in here really quick and kind of take a look at what I'm looking at. As you can see right here, I have these two ranges set out here. So these two ranges are the two ranges that I was expecting to at least see them get hit before even seeing some sort of move to the upside, which we did hit this range here, which is one of my bullish reasons. We did drop down to about 32, almost 33K. We dropped down to 33K. Almost below, all the way down to the 32 area. But what I really wanted to see here was this this W formation here, which is a head and shoulders formation pretty much form right here, and it really didn't completely form, in my personal opinion. In order for that to happen, it had to at least come within this red range here. So as you can see, we have the head here, we have the shoulder and shoulder. So right now we are forming that right shoulder, and as you can see here, we haven't really come down completely. So what I'm personally expecting is us to come up to maybe about 39, 40K, and then we take the final plunge down all the way down to about like 29, 28K. Now, if we do drop below 29, 28K, I do believe that we are going to see 26, but I honestly don't believe that's going to happen because the amount of demand for Bitcoin. And it would be really nice to see that wick happen. I feel like there could be a really quick wick that goes down there, but it's going to get up very, very fast, in my personal opinion. As always, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, so don't take my analysis as such, but that's just what I'm seeing here, guys. So for right now, what I'm noticing with Bitcoin right now, what we're going through, let me kind of zoom in here and get closer in on like currently where we are. What I'm seeing, as you see here, these lines are not perfect by any means, but as you can see here, what I'm seeing with Bitcoin is that we've been pretty much testing support levels, hitting up to resistance levels, and then that's when we start to see these sell-offs and bull traps start happening. Like, we come all the way down here, people think that this is about it, we're about to head back up, we get back up, and then another big red candle happens, and I honestly believe that's about to happen again here. We're going to wick up to about 40K. After we wick up to about there, that's when we dump down here. But we could possibly wick above 40K just so that some more longs can get liquidated. And I honestly believe that there's way too many people that are long right now, in my personal opinion. And I honestly believe that may not be the best move right now, which is why I actually currently have a short open on Bitcoin. But that short could be a bad move as well. So we'll just have to see. And but guys, you got to look at this chart like here. Like, I can't press this enough. We've come down and touched this many times. So we've came down to this red range many times since the start of last year. As you can see here, January 2021, we were trading in this area before we took up. And then we took down and we traded in this area again. We used this area as support. And we came back over here to about May. This area became support once again. And then also in June, this area became support. And in July, this area became support. So it would not strike me as a shock for us to test this area as support again before coming up. So definitely keep this in mind, so you guys can kind of make your own analysis and take your own predictions out on this. But this is just what I'm seeing with Bitcoin. But anyways, let's get on with the first altcoin on this list. None of this is in order. It's just a list that I just formed. So let's go ahead and jump to the first one on this list. All right. So number one is going to be XRP. Why is it XRP? Well, XRP is ranked number 8 right now, and they're at 61 cents, and they're still currently going through their SEC lawsuit, which is a very, very highly speculative event in the crypto markets. And I believe once this lawsuit is finalized and there's a decision made, that's going to be very, very detrimental to where the crypto market is going, in my personal opinion. SEC losing to XRP and XRP winning is enough, in my personal opinion, to send crypto up for a short period of time, which might actually be enough to keep crypto up if certain support and resistance levels are reached. So just keeping that in mind there. Let's go ahead and check this chart out. This is actually one that I bought the Ledger out for. So if you guys don't know what a Ledger is pretty much a secure way of keeping your crypto off of exchanges. I will leave a link in the description below. I've also done a video on ledgers and why they are important. So if you guys want to check that out, definitely go ahead and check that out. But pretty much this is cold storage, guys. So this is going to protect your crypto, because when you have your crypto on exchanges, you're not actually owning the keys to that crypto. So there's a saying, not your keys, not your crypto. So if you have your crypto on an exchange like crypto.com, Binance US, Qcoin, anything like that, you really don't personally own that crypto. The keys to that crypto is still personally owned by those exchanges. So with this, you're in charge of that crypto, but if you lose this, that's on you. So with that being said, I'll leave a link to that in the description below. But anyways, guys, let's go ahead and talk about XRP. So right now, this is what I'm looking at with XRP. Let's zoom out and take a wider look at this here. So as you can see, XRP has been beaten down all the way down here, and we're pretty much near bottoming out. This yellow line is honestly where I expect us to bottom out at. And we are not just there yet. As you can see, the lowest we've ever really gone with XRP in the past has been below this yellow line. Obviously, I can scroll back here, and as you can see, whenever XRP did have its initial run up back in early 2021, we were actually at this line before we took off. But we're also here and here as well. So it's very similar to Bitcoin. You're going to start noticing when I get further on in this video that there are a lot of charts that are very, very similar to each other, which is also another thing that I kind of want to get into, but I'll get into that later. So let's zoom in here and kind of talk about what we're looking at with XRP. Alrighty, so as you can see, these blue lines right here, I have some support and resistance levels pretty much drawn out for you guys. So right now, as far as resistance goes, as you can see here, we've hit this resistance level quite a few times up here around this 63 to 65 cent range. In order for us to even move any higher right now, we're going to definitely have to cross be high, above this. So as you can see here, we came up to about 66 cent, 65 cent, but we weren't able to cross that, and that's when we took the plunge back down. So that's definitely going to be a range that we're going to want to watch here, guys, is between this 60, let's see, between this 60 and 55 cent range. So between 55 and 60 cents right now, because we've been trading sideways here for quite some time. And that's definitely something we're going to want to keep our eye on, because this range is starting to tighten up and there's going to have to be a move that's going to be made. And as always, I'd hate to say it, it's going to be to the either upside or downside. In my personal opinion, I'm thinking it's going to be to the downside, and we may see XRP tap 55 cents one last time before going up, if not lower, depending on any outside circumstances outside of the crypto market, you know what I mean? So with that being said, that's what I'm looking at here. But if we can actually continue and trend upwards, which this trend does not look very strong into the upside as well, as you guys can see here, we're kind of just riding along this trend line here. And I also have these red trend lines, which would show where we can possibly go for going down, which will lead to 55 cents, which is a very, very strong level of support. So if we cross below 55 cents, I can definitely see us going down to 50 to 40 cent. That range there would be the strongest range that I could see for XRP. I really don't see it going any further below 40 cents. We may see a wick down to about 35, but that's just going to be off the initial shock. As far as heading upwards, we can head upwards and we'll see some sort of resistance at about 69 cent heading into that 70 cents range. After we breach that, we shouldn't see really too much resistance until we reach about the 75, 80 cent range. And then once we cross above that, then we can automatically assume that things are moving in a bullish notion from today's date. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much what I'm looking at when it comes to XRP. So let's move on to the next crypto, which is going to be Chainlink. So Chainlink is another one that I have added to my ledger. Obviously, when this thing comes out of my safe, because I keep it in a safe, it's a waterproof and fireproof safe. I keep it locked up to keep myself from touching it. Obviously, I'm touching it now, but I'm just touching it to show you guys. And I'm probably planning on buying a dip here soon if we actually do see some fallback in crypto, which I'm expecting to happen because we've been green. But we'll have to wait out and see that. But Chainlink is at rank 22. And right now at rank 22, we have Chainlink at $16.25. So with Chainlink being at $16.25, let's go ahead and take a look at this chart. So as you can see here, we have a low point here at this red line, which is the lowest that I'm looking for Chainlink to go to, which is about that $13.40 range. If we cross anywhere below that range, I can definitely see us heading down to about $13 to $12.95. With that being said, that is definitely a buy area for me. Anything below $20, in my personal opinion, is a steal on Chainlink. So let's go ahead and zoom in here. So as you guys can see here, we have Chainlink pretty much trading in a similar range to XRP, which, as I said before, we're going to see a lot of similarities in some of these crypto charts. So as you can see here, but Chainlink is actually having a bit more of a sharp rising. So Chainlink's actually forming a somewhat more bullish chart than XRP is, and that's probably because XRP has the SEC looming above their head, in my personal opinion. But you could definitely see that we've been trading sideways in this line here between $13.40 and $16.84, which has proved to be a strong point of resistance for us. As you can see, we're coming here to try to test this resistance again. If we can possibly head up there, then Bitcoin's more than likely heading to like 38, 39K, maybe even 40. So If we can test this resistance and cross it, our next form of resistance will not be until around about $17.29. Obviously, I couldn't get it right there on the dot, but it'll be around $17.29, $17.30. So if we were able to breach that, then we can definitely see Chainlink easily move to $19 to about 19, 20 bucks, because there wasn't really much resistance in the past on Chainlink from this time. Another thing that I kind of want to show you guys with Chainlink is this right here. We've been in a very strong downtrend with Chainlink since all the way up here around 28 bucks. And even worse, if you guys want to come back and look all the way from back here, I'm pretty sure at one point in 2021, all the way back here, we did come all the way up to about 50 bucks. As you can see here, we almost crossed that $55 range, but we weren't able to reach that. So with Chainlink, this is pretty much what I'm looking at with Chainlink here. If Chainlink can cross this line of resistance here, which is very possible in my personal opinion, then we could see Chainlink return to that $19 to $20 range, and we could finally get away from this $13, $14 area. But I honestly don't believe that's going to happen, which is why I am very bearish still. I know a lot of people put people down for being bearish, but honestly, guys, I've made the most money that I've ever made on a majority of my trades by going against the grain. So usually when people are bullish, it's because they want everything to go up. And you know what? I'm long-term bullish. I want everything to go up. But when things are looking bad, I'm not going to go ahead and sugarcoat it and pretty much just trap my mindset in one direction, because that's how people get hurt. So with that being said, I'm honestly still looking at seeing Chainlink test this area here at least one more time before we leave this range. It's possible that we do raise out of this range, but honestly, looking at this chart, I don't see that happening. But that's just my personal opinion. So let's go on to the next one, which is going to be Hedera Hashgraph. So Hedera is another great project that I have been adding on to, and they've been making some very innovative moves themselves. They are ranked number 34 on Coin Market Cap. So let's go ahead here. They have 372,000 watchers, heading towards 400,000 watchers, which is impressive. Let's go ahead and look here at some Hedera Hashgraph. So as you can see, we are looking at Hedera Hashgraph right now, and we are kind of trending in a similar direction to Chainlink. But as you can see here, we're actually breaching our first level of support right now. We're not breaching it just yet. We are a little bit over it, but we are testing it still, because we have to get strong over this level, and we have to pretty much just close out above here with a strong enough candle in order to completely say that we've crossed this resistance line here. So pretty much for right now, we are testing it. As you can see back here, back on the 22nd of January, we tested this resistance, and we were shut down and sent back down to the bottom of this trend line, which is around this this 19-cent range. So as you can see, if we get rejected again, we are going back down to this 20 cent range here, maybe even 19 cents. If we cross below that, we are going to be heading to the next point of support, which is going to be 18 cents. So after we head down from 18 cents, if we breach below that and we see a wick lower in the market in general, then we're probably going to see a 15-cent Hedera, and that is pretty much where I have my buy order set, is between 15 cents and 18 cents. So that's definitely what I'm going to be looking out for in the long term. I still have a bag Hedera, so if things do go up and things do cross this 22-cent range here, then I'm definitely going to be watching out for the next point of resistance that we should see, which is around 24 cents heading into 25 cents. And then after that, we should see more resistance later on at 29 cents heading into 30 cents. So that's pretty much what I'm looking at with Hedera Hashgraph right here. Hedera has been a very tricky one to watch, honestly, guys, in my personal opinion. As you can see here, the chart's been kind of all over the place, but it's really traded within this range here. As you can see, it's never really traded out of this range for too long. It's been between this 30-cent range and 15-cent range. So that's definitely something to watch as well ever since June of last year, maybe even longer if we scroll back here and we look at the charts. So that's definitely going to be something to watch out for, guys, in my personal opinion. As I said before, I'm bullish on crypto long term, but in the short term for right now, it's definitely something to kind of watch out for. I know a lot of people are bullish, like I said before, but there's a lot of things to consider and just take into consideration as to like the economic situation that's globally economic in terms of global and and just things like that, guys. Like there's the global economic situation, there's the environmental situation going on with carbon footprints and stuff like that. There's things going on with tensions between different countries. Then there's just so many potentially black swans that are looming around the crypto space and just the world in general, that I honestly believe that we should definitely be on the defensive end here. But there are things that could happen that could really bump Bitcoin up, which are things like more countries adopting it, and things like a announcement pretty much stating that masks are not needed anymore, and there's like the variant news starts kind of slowing down, and that gives the news something that they're going to have to move onto next. So they'll stop talking about variants, but I'm pretty sure they'll find something new that's bad to talk about, obviously. But anyways, I'm thinking that crypto may be the next thing that they may end up talking about. So that might be good for crypto, because that's obviously going to mean that crypto is probably going up. But anyways, guys, let's go ahead and talk about Helium next, which is HNT. Alrighty, guys, so we are now looking at HNT, which is Helium, which is rank number 41 on coin market cap, currently trading at $27.49. I am actually currently mining Helium. As you can see, my miner is, where's my hand at? My miner, I'm not very coordinated, guys. My miner is right here, and I'm currently mining Helium. As you can see, that green light is on. So with Helium, I'm definitely going to be doing a update video on the miner there. But let's go ahead and jump in on this chart. So I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I actually recently sold Helium, but we'll see if the reason that I sold Helium is a good reason or not, because I'm definitely coming back to Helium. I just seen something that was a very great opportunity, and I decided to move some of my earnings from Helium over to that opportunity, because the dip that I saw was very luscious looking, and I just had to get in on it with as much money as possible. And my Helium miner projected me that cash. So with that being said, as soon as I get a decent enough return, I'm probably going to jump back into Helium and move it back over to my HNT wallet. So with that being said, let's go ahead and look at Helium. So one thing that I do want to mention about Helium is that just recently Grayscale came out with an announcement that they were looking at Helium as a potential add-on to their offerings to their customers. And that is very bullish for Helium, along with the Dish Network information partnership that they just recently announced and things like that. Helium has definitely been on the up and up as far as partnerships and notable mentions in the market. So it's definitely something that's very interesting to look into, because it is the people's network. So let's go ahead and look at this chart here. So as you can see right now at this red line, we are sitting on support at $19 and the 83-cent range. So we're sitting on support right here, which was back here. We're not sitting on that support right now, but back on the 22nd, we were sitting on the support here. As you can see here, we are actually kind of moving in a very bullish momentum type of trade right now. We are actually trading within this trend line, and we've gone out of it back here, and on the 22nd as well, we've gone out of the trend line, and we've came back into it, as you can see here, and we were about to touch down on this support line right here. If we can bounce off of this support line, then we're definitely heading up to this resistance area right here, because the next support line is all the way up here at about like 32 cents. So if or next, not next support line, but next resistance line. So if we can bounce off of here and come to test this 30-cent range again, this 31-cent range, if we can cross that, then I can definitely say that helium is in a bullish trend upward. For right now, I'm proceeding with caution when it comes to helium, and that's why I sold out of my position up here. And as you can see, so far it's been a decent move. So with that being said, I'm definitely going to be keeping a close eye on helium, because things can change, guys. Things can change really, really quick. And after we cross here, we could pretty much go up to about this area here, which is $35. And once we cross that $35 range, the sky is the limit from there. So definitely going to have to keep an eye on helium, because if things do go down and the market does get hit, I believe helium is going to be one of the projects that may overreact because of how high helium has risen in this short amount of time. So that's why I added helium to this list, and that's why I added quite a few cryptos to this list, because quite a few of them have risen pretty sharply in a short amount of time. And if anything catastrophic were to happen in the market, or there just be a sell-off, then it would be easily seeable in the foreseeable future that we actually head down to ranges like this, and we see 30% plus drops in these projects. So this is definitely going to be something to keep an eye on, because these are going to be very, very great buying points if we can get down here to these levels. Even if we can't get down here to these levels, then buying and having the dollar cost average into the market on the way up is not going to hurt you. So that's where the risk and the reward comes into this, because pretty much your reward is being able to buy down here and just wait for us to come right back up here and like double, triple, quadruple your money. So pretty much that's what we're looking at here with helium. The risk to reward here on helium and a lot of these cryptos is very, very good in my personal opinion. So that's why I'm okay with trying to wait out to see if we do drop to these levels, because if we do, I want to make sure I have as much money as possible sitting on the sides to load up before we send it back upwards towards all-time highs and whatnot, which I'm pretty sure is going to happen in the long term. So now let's go on to this next project, which is going to be IOTA. And I've been doing a lot of talking about IOTA, so let's go ahead and jump over to this one. And sorry in advance if I'm a little jittery or a little stuttery right now. I'm still like kind of sleepy, and I'm trying to wake myself up with this coffee, but I haven't really been drinking it. So I've been like taking sips, and I guess my body's like telling me like, yo, you need to gulp this right now, bro. Gulp it. But anyways, guys, we're looking at IOTA, which is number 47 here on CoinMarketCap, trading at 83 cents currently, and is up 5.76%. So IOTA is a special one in my personal opinion, because there's a lot of things going on with IOTA, like the staking on the Firefly wallet, which I've done a video on my $250 account that I'm trying to turn into $5,000, which I am very, very bullish on now at this point because of IOTA. So with IOTA right now, guys, I'm gonna just go ahead and give you a quick brief overview on what's going on with IOTA. If you guys want to get more in depth with it, definitely go out and check out my IOTA video on that $250 account playlist that I have. So what's going on with IOTA is that they are offering a airdrop pretty much. So if you stake IOTA, then you're pretty much opting in to receive Shimmer Network tokens, which is SMR, and Assembly tokens, which is ASMB. So with the SMR tokens, you're going to get a huge amount of tokens. So that is leading me to believe that the SMR price is going to start out a lot lower than the ASMB token price, which is you're not getting as much ASMB tokens as you are SMR tokens. So that's why it's leading me to believe that. But as far as the SMR tokens, it has bought my account up to about, I think I'm at like almost 100 million tokens staked in SMR. So that will be the one project that I have that many tokens staked on this $250 account. So I don't think it's going to be around that $500, $600 range that it's been sitting at once things release as far as the SMR and ASMB tokens are going about. And there's also been other projects like Bitpanda and stuff like that that have recently came out and announced that they are going to be supporting these tokens. So I did have something drawn out here, which is not here any longer, but as you can see here, this is very, very similar to our previous charts with Chainlink and XRP. So it's pretty much going to be the same story just about with IOTA as well. The only different story is that, as you can see here, we've went much lower. We've gone down to about 70 cents. And see if I can get a line drawn here real quick. We've gone down to about 70 cents. And as you can see here, see if I can get my computer to work properly. As you can see here, we have not gone below this line. It took me 2 seconds to go ahead and boom that out, and we haven't gone below the line. So definitely keep an eye on IOTA, because as you can see here, there's a little pattern going on here. And I honestly believe that if we can push above 90 cents, that is going to be very, very bullish for IOTA, because I don't think many were expecting IOTA to drop the way that it did, because just recently it was trading at about $1.70 and it went all the way down to below $1. And now it's trading at currently trading at 83 cents. So with that being said, we were at about $2 back in September of 21. So that's definitely a very, very huge drop. But if we were to see more of a drop in the crypto market, then IOTA is definitely not an exception, and we could possibly see IOTA come down to the 60-cent range, which would be a very, very nice steal. And we could see it make a XRP type of recovery. So that's definitely going to be very, very nice to keep an eye out on and watch. And what I mean by XRP type of recovery is the type of recovery that XRP made shortly after the SEC came out and said that they were coming after XRP. XRP plummeted down to like 20 cents and then made its way slowly back up to the 50 to 60 cent range. And then from there, it took off and went to dollars once again. So with that being said, that would be a very, very nice trade to make. And with IOTA, this isn't really a trade for me. This is more of an investment. I'm going to be with IOTA for the long term, because I support a lot of their views when it comes to the environment, and when it comes to pretty much just keeping the world intact digitally in general, guys. Like, I'm gonna have to do a deeper like dive type of video on IOTA, because there's just so much more that I've learned myself within the past couple of weeks about IOTA. And it's just a very, very great project, guys. And I feel like there's a large amount of potential here. Speaking of grayscale with Helium, IOTA is also a grayscale contender as well. They had IOTA on that list as well, listed along with Helium, VeChain, and a few other names. So that is also very exciting to see, because IOTA is still very, very cheaply priced in my personal opinion. We could definitely see IOTA being around the $15, $20 plus range in the future, in my personal opinion. So I'm definitely going to be holding out on this one. I'll be waiting for the long term and pretty much seeing where this investment goes. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much what I'm looking at with IOTA. So let's go on to this next project here. So next up, we have Theta, which is Theta Network, currently at rank 43, and we're at $2.99 right now. So let's go ahead and check this one out, because guys, I was not expecting what happened to Theta to happen to Theta, and it's just insane to kind of sit back and watch it. But I'm still bullish on Theta. So I've been messing around with Theta since it was about like 50 cent, 20 cent, somewhere around there, back when Binance was just Binance and there was no Binance US. So like, I've been very bullish on Theta for quite a long time. So let's just kind of scroll in here. This coffee's hitting, man. All right, let's just kind of scroll here really quick and just look at the short term for right now. All right, well, that's a big, big wick right there. But anyways, guys, so this is what I'm talking about here. Look at that big middle finger. So like, who's to say that we don't see another big middle finger here, which sends us down to this range? So that's what's going to get me started here. So pretty much right now, guys, what we are looking at right now is Theta is trading somewhat bullishly towards this first level of resistance here. As you can see here, this range is tightening up, and Theta is going to have to make a move here to the upside or to the downside. But as you can see here, if we take a look at this long-term view, where does it look like Theta is heading in your personal opinion? So in my personal opinion, we're heading further down. So that's just what I'm thinking is going to happen with Theta, because we've been heading down this entire time. So what I'm going to be watching out for Theta is going to be this $2 range right here. But first things first, we're going to be looking at this $2.30 range here, which is going to be the first range that I'm going to be looking out for. Sorry guys, I haven't really done this many cryptos, like analysis on this many crypto. I think this is my first video where I'm doing like 15 at one time. So please bear with me. I appreciate you guys for sticking through the video. First off, we are going to be looking at this. So the first level of resistance, we're going to be looking at $2.30. So that's going to be a very, very sizable drop down to this range. I mean, we could possibly see some sort of resistance around $2.50, but I honestly don't believe that resistance is going to hold up very strong. The next strong level of resistance that we have is this $2.30 range, and then after we lose that, then we should be seeing a $2 Theta. And I don't honestly believe that Theta is going to drop any more below $2. I think that Theta is going to be one of those projects that is going to have a very, very nice string, like swing upwards. There's some very, very awesome news going on with Theta. Theta's been doing some very, very great things in the background. I think I've seen a post about Theta with a space launch and stuff like that for streaming and whatnot. And there's a lot of things going on with Theta that I haven't really been keeping up with lately, so I'm not going to sit here and just talk about something that I haven't really been keeping up too much with. I've definitely been keeping up with it, but not to the extent that I have been before, probably because I got a little disinterested with the downtrend. I'm still holding Theta, but personally, I don't like to kind of keep up with like constantly look at my projects that are kind of being beaten down, because it just makes you want to like sell mentally, you know what I mean? So just to stay mentally strong on this investment, I tend not to look at my investments that aren't doing so well, and I try to keep an eye on the ones that are doing well. But I do keep an eye on the ones that aren't doing well to an extent, because I make sure they don't hit these levels here, because if they hit below these levels here, that's when I have to reassess everything and maybe cut my ties, possibly depending on my profit, my P&L, with my profit and loss. So as you guys can see here, if we do kind of break up towards this area here, we're going to have to try to fight above this $3.20 range. If we can cross that $3.20 range though, then we don't really see much more resistance until about $3.70. And then from there, that can also give us the steam that we need to hit about $4. And then from $4, we have the $4.50 range, and then the $5 range, which is up here, that we could possibly cross. But first we'd have to cross that $4.60 range. I actually have a notification that Bitcoin has crossed above $38,000. So we're crossed above $38,100. So I got some alerts on my phone, which is what I'm recording with right now, on Bitcoin, because I have that short position open. So let's see if we get liquidated or not, guys. Let's see. We're closing in on that $38,000 range. But anyways, next up, let's talk about Engine. All right, so now we have Engine up here, which is ranked number 59, trading currently at $1.72. Let's go ahead and check the chart on this one. Like I was saying before, guys, I'm honestly thinking for Bitcoin to hit about between $38,000 and $40,000 before we start seeing it drop down. I honestly don't believe that everything's going to be green like this for too long. I mean, it usually never is. So let's take a look at Engine coin. So Engine, as you can see here, also trading within this range sideways. So a lot of these projects are kind of rising, but they're not rising like this. They're sideways rising. See if I can find anything that's similar. They're kind of doing this here. Really, guys, like, look here. Like, I'm just now seeing this right now. They're kind of doing this here, which is a pretty much a setup towards going down lower. As you can see here, we have this area here, this nice wick here. We have this area here, this nice wick here. And then we have a drop here. And then we also have a drop here, followed by a nice wick up here, followed by a nice wick up here, followed by the final drop here before moving upward. So that's what I'm pretty much seeing with most of these projects, guys, in my personal opinion, if you ask me. And with Engine, that's no different. As you can see here, we have down here, which is going to be that first level of negative resistance, which is at $1.16, which is pretty much $1.20. And then we have the next level, which is going to be a nice steep drop down to about 90 cents. 95, 90 cents, guys. So definitely gonna have to keep an eyeball on Engine because we're coming up to that range as well of resistance. So that's why I'm probably got that notification on Bitcoin, because I placed that $38,100 point of resistance on Bitcoin, because if we can cross that, then that's going to be bullish. As you can see right here, we're having a battle right now for this area. It's been going green and red. The candles are just changing. So as you can see, we have this level of resistance here at this $1.75 range. And we also have a next level of resistance. If we can pass this $1.75 range, we can head over to $2. And then from there, we have the $2.30 range on Engine. But that's pretty much what we're looking at with Engine. As you see here, this person's asking if Engine is still a good buy at $1.63, which honestly, in my personal opinion, I believe Engine is a great buy at $1.63, because if you're a long-term investor and you're looking at the long-term view, I honestly believe that the platform that Engine has laid down is a very, very great base layer platform that has a lot of potential to extend forward and higher in the gaming, NFT space, and much more, like the metaverse and stuff like that. So definitely keep a eyeball on Engine, in my personal opinion. As you guys all know, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but when something has this much potential and the max supply and the total supply right now is only trading like this, and then this is the circulating supply, it's definitely pretty much safe to say that it's got a lot more room to go, in my personal opinion. But that's all I've got for Engine. Let's go on to Proton XPR next. All right, guys, so now we are looking at Proton XPR. I'm going to try to speed things up just a little bit here, just so we can not wait too long, because I'll still have to edit and upload this video, and Bitcoin and the markets are constantly moving, so I don't want to upload a outdated video, just in case there are some huge swings up or huge swings down in the crypto market. So with that being said, we have Proton XPR at rank number 386, trading currently at a penny. So we have 50,000 watchers on this on CoinMarketCap. Let's go ahead and check this one out here. One thing that I do want to talk about really quick is the Proton Mint, which is the Proton Marketplace. And it is a very, very awesome marketplace. So pretty much, guys, it's everything, in my personal opinion, that you would want from like a Solana or an Ethereum, and then some, because there's Proton Mint, which is the NFT marketplace. There's Proton Loan, and there's just Proton Swap. There's so many things that you could do under Proton as an ecosystem in general, and for it to be a penny, I honestly believe it is massively undervalued, which is why I have so much invested in on Proton. And I'm also making NFTs. I have my NFT project, which is Proton Pandas, that I am currently running. I actually sold I think 2 Proton Pandas this morning, and then I sold another 2 yesterday. So definitely a very, very awesome project. So definitely check out my Proton Pandas project if you guys are interested. I've been doing things like random giveaways, airdropping pretty much rewards into people's wallets who are holding Proton Panda NFTs every month. So there's definitely some cool things that are going on there, and I definitely have some more things planned in store. But anyways, let's go ahead and look at this chart. So this chart is no different than any of the other charts, once again, guys. So it's pretty hard to kind of gauge where things are going, but whenever you look at it, it's kind of similar to this. We traded in this range, and didn't look like we were doing much for long, and then that's when we finally got the decision, which was made, to go to the downside. This one's going to be a bit harder to gauge though here, because it's not really sitting on this bottom line here, this bottom trend line, this bottom line of support, and it's not really looking like it's trying to head up to the resistance point either. So XPR is going to be a very, very hard one to gauge. It may be one of those projects that slowly trades sideways, and whichever way the market goes, like, so let's say the market goes up, it'll slowly trade sideways to the upside. And if the market goes down, it'll slowly trade sideways to the downside. So that's what I'm expecting here. As you guys can see here, we have a support right now of 0.009, which we've actually tested quite a few times here. Let's see, we tested it about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 times recently. So we can definitely say that that's a point of support. And then we have this point of resistance right here, which we've only tested 1 time so far, which is 0.011. So if Proton were to go lower, we can definitely expect the range of 0.007 to 0.009 as far as downside goes. And as far as upside goes, if we can cross over this 0.011, then we can definitely see a next major level of resistance around 0.013 to 0.014, right around here. And then from there, we might be able to return back to this level right here where we were previously sitting at, which is this 0.016 to 0.017 range for Proton. But Proton has seen a very, very drastic drop, and I honestly believe it was overreacted on at quite a few points in time, in my personal opinion. I think this one has massive potential, and that's why I'm going to continue to load up here. And definitely, I don't want to say I'm hoping for it, so I'm not going to go ahead and sugarcoat it. I'm hoping that we can go down this low before like taking off and going back this high, because I know we're going to see these levels again, if not higher, in the future. So if we can dump down to there, it would be a very, very great buying opportunity for many. And that is going to be what makes people some life-changing gains on many projects. So I'm definitely looking out for this range here. I'll definitely have some buy orders open down at these levels here. But anyways, that's what I'm looking at for Proton XPR. Alrighty, guys, so let's try to speed this up some more, because I think I took a little bit longer on that one. I'm starting to notice that when I'm running to the projects that I like, I take a little bit longer on them. So let's go ahead with Verasity. And that's why I'm mentioning that, because I love Verasity. So we have Verasity at 395 for current rank, and it's currently at 2 cents right now. So this is what we are looking at with Verasity. As you can see here, before we even get started, this is saying this is on everyone's watch list, but not buying yet, because TA looks like it can go down further before doing an epic pump, which in my personal opinion, I agree with. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at Verasity. As you can see here, we have this line going here from the all-time high, which is around 8 cents, all the way down to here. As you guys can see, my lines are not perfect at all by any means, but no one's perfect. As you can see here, this is very, very similar to XPR. So the story with this one's not going to be much different. As you can see here, we've touched this level of support quite a few times at 0.017, and we are currently at 2 cents right now. So we're actually heading up to this level of resistance, which is 0.023. So if we get rejected here at this level of resistance, we can definitely expect Verasity to either head back down to this level of 0.02 cents, or we're going to be heading down to 0.017, depending on how hard Bitcoin gets rejected or accepted. So if Bitcoin gets rejected, we're going down to this level, and then if it gets rejected even further from there, we can definitely expect Verasity as well as the rest of the market to go lower. So then we would see Verasity around 0.012, which is a lot better than the last dump that Verasity had, because I think Verasity seen lows as much as 0.007 during the whole China FUD incident back in early or mid 2021. But anyways, as far as highs go with Verasity, if we can actually cross this range here, Verasity has been known to make some very, very sharp swings upward whenever there is upside potential. So we can definitely expect to see Verasity pull this, which is something that it's pulled in the past, which is pretty much coming from here down here all the way up and easily testing the next level of resistance, which is almost an entire penny ahead. So we could definitely see a Verasity possibly testing 0.044. But anyways, that's what I'm looking at with Verasity, guys. Next up, we have DAG, Constellation. Now, this one is one that I missed out on a little bit. So I was following this one back when it was, I think like 2 cents, 3 cents, something like that. And I had got my buddy on it, and I was also in it as well. But then I kind of looked at it as a trade instead of an investment, which I probably shouldn't have with the amount of DD that I did on it. But anyways, you win some, you lose some. So currently, DAG is currently at 251 on CoinMarketCap rank, and it is at 15 cents. So I'm actually still holding some DAG, but not nearly as much as I was before, which is pretty much enough to get a node, maybe even 2 back then. So we are currently looking at DAG Constellation. So trading sideways, just like XPR and Verasity. So I'm noticing that XPR, Verasity, and DAG are like 3 coins that I found all at around the same point in time. Back in the day, well, not back in the day, but like last year, I was looking into these ones, and they've all been kind of trading similarly, as you can see here. So one thing that I do want to point out here, though, is DAG has been very, very strong when it comes to not wanting to go below this range here. As you can see here, back in December 2021, we tried to go down lower than this last band here, which is 13 cents, and it got sent back up every time. So some entity does not want DAG to go below 13 cents whatsoever. So it doesn't want it, they don't want to see DAG head down to about 10 cents. That's probably it, because there's not much resistance or support left until about the 10 cent range, and that could prompt a very, very big sell-off here. But I'm pretty sure it would get bought up because of the potential here with this one. But anyways, what we're looking at here is this. I want to show you guys this really quick. As you guys see, every time that we come down and we touch this red band down here, it's almost a guarantee. It's not even almost a guarantee. It's a little guarantee that we're going to come up and we're going to test the resistance levels here once again. So if we do see a drop in DAG, which we are actually currently seeing now, as you can see here with these red candles, we're probably going to come down here. We're going to touch 13 cents. And as long as the market remains as strong as it has been, and it doesn't drop lower, then we should see DAG come back up here to retest this level here. So if we do drop down to here, DAG would technically be an okay buy at around 13 cents. In my personal opinion, anything below 20 cent DAG, anything below 15 cent DAG is a great buy in my personal opinion. If we can cross above that 16 cent resistance, then we should be able to see the next resistance level around 18 cents. So we'd be seeing resistance around the 17 cent range. So that's pretty much what I'm looking at with DAG Constellation. And real quick before we move on to Hex, one last thing that I do want to talk about with DAG is that DAG actually formed a partnership with Helium to pretty much form a kind of Helium-like device for DAG to operate with, and for them to kind of extend their network. So it's kind of like a mining type device. I'm gonna have to definitely look more into it, because I kind of glanced at the article. I really didn't go too far into it, but this is definitely another undervalued project that reminds me of a competitor. Not even a competitor. I don't really like to look at crypto projects in the crypto space as competitors, but in the realm of Hedera Hashgraph, they have partnered contracts with the Department of Defense, DoD, and stuff like that. So, and they've also been mentioned by the Air Force on the Air Force's verified Twitter page. So it's definitely something to look into. When the Air Force, the U.S. military is looking into it, then it's probably something that you want to look into. So DAG with their HGTTP, or I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but DAG with that, which is kind of similar to like pretty much like HTML pretty much. So it's pretty much similar to that, but like DAG's equivalent, which is 10 times better apparently, is going to be something that's definitely interesting to look into, because DAG is claiming to be the #1 layer 0 project in crypto. So definitely keep an eye out on DAG. Next up, we are going to be looking at another one that has a lot of potential here, guys. So we're looking at Hex right now. So Hex has currently 87,000 watchers with them, with Hex on their watch list. I'm not really too sure how much I want to trust CoinMarketCap on this. I use CoinMarketCap just because it's quick to set up the trading view. But there's definitely been some discrepancies between Hex and CoinMarketCap, as well as quite a few other crypto projects. I would just like to put that out there, guys. So ranked number 201 is Hex on CoinMarketCap, currently at 18 cents. Let's go ahead and look at Hex here. As you can see here, the chart also looks quite different. I couldn't really figure out what was going on with that, so that was kind of weird, because I checked my other charts and they all came out okay except for Hex. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at Hex. As you can see right now, we are heading towards this level of support, which is around 16 cents that I have drawn out, which is pretty much 17 cents when you look at it. It's just not perfectly up there. So we're heading to this level of support at 17-cent range. As you can see here, that's what we're doing. If we hit this level and then we bounce back, then we will see a resistance tap again of 20 cents. If we can't do that and the market continues to go down and somehow Hex gets pulled down with it, because with Hex usually goes in the opposite direction of Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin does go down and Hex miraculously gets dragged down with it, we can see Hex possibly drag down to about 15 cents. I didn't put that one in there. But if we don't see 15 cents hold, we should see about 12 to 13 cents. And then from there, we should be seeing about the 10-cent range, which I'm more than sure it's going to get loaded up. So with that being said, we're definitely going to see a nice bounce if that happens. And this is going to be a very, very, very great opportunity, because as you can see here, people cannot wait for Richard Hart, who is the founder of Hex, to come out with Pulsechain and PulseX. If you guys want to look into that, I did a video on this actually recently. I think it was my last video, but definitely look into that. So that's going to be the world's biggest airdrop with those tokens, with PLS and PLSX. And then there's a whole sacrifice phase, but I'm not going to get into that video. You guys can go ahead and check that one out. If we are able to breach this here, and let's say Bitcoin does drop and Hex does continue upwards, then we can definitely expect to see 25 cents on the table. And then after 25 cents, we can possibly see 30 cents on the table if we can pass this 28-cent resistance. But that's pretty much what I'm looking at with Hex, guys. Alrighty, guys, so we have 4 more projects left, and of those 4 projects, Telcoin is one of them, trading at 0.0078, which is very, very interesting to say the least. And then we also have it at rank 129. So if you guys like me doing these videos, definitely let me know in the comments below, because these videos are kind of long, and if you guys don't really care too much for them, then I probably won't do them. But if you guys do, then I'll definitely do them. So here with Telcoin, one thing that I do want to point out is, back when I said that Verasity went down to 0.007 range, that's pretty much what we're seeing here with Telcoin. As you can see, I'll see if I can scroll back to that far. With Verasity was at about 4.045, so about the 4-cent range, heading towards the 5-cent range, before it got knocked down to 0.007. And very similarly, back in November, we had that news come out for Telcoin with V3 and the V3 release, and Telcoin shot all the way up to 0.036. This was a very, very, very nice trade and investment in general, because I was able to load Telcoin up down here, and I actually made a post about this on my Twitter. So if you guys aren't following me on Twitter, definitely do so. I think I saw the opportunity somewhere around here, like 0.016, 0.017, and I loaded up, and Telcoin went all the way up to about 0.036. And it was definitely a very great trade. I think it went past 0.036 at one point on KuCoin. It went up to about 0.038, if I can remember correctly. So next up, we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about the chart. So as you can see here, Telcoin now is moving in a very, very bullish momentum type move towards this resistance point up here, which is 0.00872. So Telcoin definitely wants to get above this penny level and kind of sit up here. So if it can do that, then we're pretty much going to be looking at Telcoin close this range out right here. As you can see, it's getting tight now. It's getting tight now, guys. Back whenever I started this video, it's back here, so you couldn't really tell where it was going. It decided where it's going. It looks like it's about to cross this level here. As you can see, this candle is currently growing bigger, and we're going to be testing this range here, which if we can beat this range, then we're going to be heading in a sharp trend upwards to 0.01. And once we can get Telcoin above this 0.00 range, then this down here is out of the question more than likely, unless we have a like black swan, or we have a very, very sharp dump back downwards in the market in general and in Telcoin. So with that being said, then if that were to happen, we could possibly see Telcoin come back, test this 0.007 range, and if it fails that, then we will definitely be expecting, well, I will definitely be expecting the 0.005 range, which is down here, which is what I have drawn out. But with Telcoin, this one it's giving me XRP vibes, guys. Telcoin is definitely giving me XRP vibes, so I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye out on this one. This is one of my favorite charts to watch personally, so I'll definitely be keeping an eye out here on Telcoin. There's definitely a lot of potential here. As you can see here, Telcoin has proved to be very explosive in times of bullish sentiment, so definitely something to watch out for. As you can see here, we ran all the way up here to almost 7 cents with Telcoin before, so it's definitely something to watch out for, because if we can run from where we're at right now, which is currently 0.007 all the way up to 7 cents, I think we all know the percent gains that are going to be made from that, which is going to be life-changing for many. So anyways, guys, let's jump on to the next project here, which is going to be storage. So next up, we have storage. We've been watching this one for quite a while, if you guys have been following my $250 journey on that small account that I started. So with this one, with storage, we are currently ranked number 136, and we are at $1.15, which is very, very interesting, and I'll go on about that here in a minute. So the reason that storage being at $1.15 is very, very interesting is because I really honestly don't believe that storage seen the type of drop that a lot of other cryptos seen across the market. And I honestly believe if storage did see that drop, then it should have dropped below this 90-cent range, which it didn't, and actually got held up. So we're not looking at lower levels here. We're actually looking at some decent levels. As you can see here, back in 21, we were trading at $2, so we only really lost a dollar, while other projects lost multiple dollars. So let's scroll down here and look at what we're looking at. So as you can see here, it's kind of trading sideways a little bit, but it's kind of trying to make its way up, as you can see here, and we're coming up on this trend line here. So something's going to have to give. Either we're heading back down to this support if we can't test this resistance, and we're heading back down to support, or we're going to try to test this higher resistance up here, which is like a more strong and firm resistance, which is going to be that $1.40 range, which if we can cross, then we can actually see storage head up to about $1.80, which after that there's not much resistance between $1.80 and a $2.20, as you can see there. If storage were to fall, then we can possibly see it come down to lows of 70 cents. But with storage, I honestly believe storage is going to be a very, very great long-term investment. Personally, I honestly believe the possibility for storage to reach $100, as you can see down here in one storage, $100. Is it possible? I honestly believe yes, it's possible. I was a very, very early investor in the stock called DocuSign. I was investing in that one back when it was like 20, I think $20, and it went well above $200. And pretty much, guys, things that deal with cloud and storage in general, things that deal with storage, like I feel like I'm saying storage, but like storage, like storage, STORJ. I feel like I'm saying that, but like I'm saying storage. So that's awesome. I like that. But anyways, things that deal with cloud storage and data in general and stuff like that is going to be very, very big in the near future, because things can't continue to kind of move forward if we start running out of storage and data in the digital realm. So things are going to have to continue to innovate as far as digital storage and data goes, in order for other things to innovate and move forward as well. So I'm sure the more new things that start to come out that require more data and more storage, then we're going to have to find other ways to kind of keep up with that, and other ways to kind of like keep data safe and available for these projects that are coming out on the daily pretty much, and of the startups that are just coming out that are requiring massive amounts of storage. We're going to have to find places and ways to store all of this data and stuff like that. And that's where things like storage is going to come into play, because you're going to want decentralized storage if you're using something that's as powerful, that can kind of compete with something like a Facebook or something like that, or like a Google. You're not going to want to use Google to pretty much store your data and store information and stuff if Google is a competitor, because they've been known to be foul players in the game. So what are you going to want to do? You're going to want to go with a decentralized cloud storage platform like storage. So that's definitely where I can see storage being very, very useful in the near future. But anyways, guys, before I continue to rant on about storage, let's go on to the next project, which is going to be FLUX. All right, guys, so we are now looking at FLUX. This one has just recently began to be gain recent popularity in the altcoin space, especially in the Qcoin realm. So we have FLUX at rank 146. I'm pretty much going to have to do a video on this one. I've been wanting to do a video on this one, but I really haven't lately, and been slacking. So let's take a look at FLUX. So as you can see here with FLUX, we are currently trading in this range here. It looks like we're actually having like stronger swings, but we're still trading sideways, you know what I mean? So as you can see here, we've touched down on this support level down here at $1.30, and then we've come back up here. We tried to tap this resistance and test this resistance up here at $1.75. We failed and got rejected, so then we came down, but we didn't come all the way down to the support line. We actually came up, and we're going to give it another try, which is kind of one of the reasons why, like with a lot of these charts, I'm expecting them to go lower, because they never came back down and tested support, which is kind of raising red flags in my mind personally. I'm bullish on this one long term though. This one I'm super bullish on long term. So let's go ahead and take a look here. As far as the long-term view goes, I can see this one after it crosses this $1.75 range. I can see it easily reaching $2. And then from there, the possibility for $5, in my personal opinion, is very, very, very huge with FLUX. And I'm gonna zoom out here so you guys can kind of see why. So this is a long-term trajectory for FLUX right here that I have drawn out. As you can see, it's on a steady uptrend. Even in a down market, it's in a steady uptrend. Now, with a lot of the other projects that I was showing you guys, I couldn't do this. I couldn't set this trend line up and just show that that project was in an uptrend, because it's been in a downtrend. This one's been in an uptrend since November, since October. And many of these other projects that I've been showing you guys have been in downtrends since October, November. So that's definitely very, very interesting to watch kind of happen out with FLUX. So FLUX is definitely something that I'm going to be keeping my eyes on, because as you can see here, it's been trading along this trend line, and up until recent, it's actually come down and touched it, but it has not crossed below. So that's another thing to keep in mind. It has not crossed below it. So that's why this dollar range right here, if it were to cross down kind of like it did back here, then I would definitely consider loading up some FLUX, because it hasn't done it. It just hasn't. And for it to do that, it would have to cross well below this trend line and pretty much break the trend line, which I'm not sure will happen or not. So FLUX is definitely something that I am going to be keeping an eyeball on, and I'm definitely going to be doing a video on FLUX in the near future. Last but not least, we have Digibyte. So Digibyte is currently at a rank 153 and is currently at 2 cents. So we've been knocked out of that top 100 range for quite some time now with Digibyte. People are starting to lose hope with Digibyte, but I'm still here. So let's go ahead and talk about why. As you can see down here, Digibyte's been beaten up badly. As you can see, I just had to scroll back in on all of this downtrend here, which is like what I said about FLUX. I can't really do that with a lot of other projects. Like, look, since October, Digibyte's been on a downtrend pretty much, since before October really. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at this. As you can see right now, Digibyte is actually on an uptrend right now, and it's heading up towards its first level of resistance, which is right here at 0.024. So if we can actually come up here and touch this resistance, which right now we're riding on a trend line, if we can come up here and touch this resistance and pass it, then we can head up to about, let me zoom this back out. We can head up to this 0.03 range back up here. And then after that, we have plenty of ranges to head up to. There's a lot of ranges of resistance on Digibyte down here, which is what has been making it very, very hard for Digibyte to kind of head back up in the first place from dating all the way back here, is because every time it gets out of one really tight range, it enters another, and it's been making it really tough for Digibyte to kind of move out. And one thing that I'm noticing with Digibyte on this is, if you guys hear me out on this one, is it's kind of similar to Bitcoin in the early stages. Like, every time Bitcoin would come out of a very tight range, Bitcoin would enter another very, very tight range. If you guys go back and you look in at the 2014, 2015 and stuff like that, it would trade in these very tight ranges, and it would be tough for it to get out. But once it got out, it would move easily to the next range, but there wasn't much room for movement until it truly broke out, and that's when it took off. Let me see if I can kind of find a moment like this for you guys, just so I can kind of explain what I see going on here. Let's see. It's kind of like there a little bit, but not completely. We'll just do it like this. All right, here we go. Let's go right here. So it's kind of like this right here. As you guys can see, we're trading in this range. We're trading in this range. Boom, we get out of this range. And we almost cross into this range, and we get rejected, sent right back down into this range. We trade in this range, we try hard to get out, and then we get sent down lower, down to the support line. We come back up, we try it again, and we get sent down to support line again. And then we come all the way up here, we try the same exact move, and then we're a bit more successful. We cross through this range, head into this range, and then we get rejected back down into this range, but now we're in the next range up. We try to test that range again, boom, 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 as you guys can see, and then the trend continues up until we have that very, very strong push forward up here, and that's when the trend starts to push us through all these other ranges. So that's kind of what I'm expecting to happen with Digibyte once again over here, and this may be that move that pushes us through all the other ranges, but definitely going to have to watch out. I feel like we're going to come down and see this touchdown at least one or two more times before we can see that very, very violent move upwards that everybody's waiting on with Digibyte. So I honestly do believe that we could see a 16 cent Digibyte as we have before, maybe even a 20 cent Digibyte in the future. But that's what I'm looking at with Digibyte, guys. So last but not least, let's go ahead and check up on Bitcoin really quick. All right, guys, so to check in up on Bitcoin and close this video out, we are trading currently at $38,133, and right now Bitcoin's up 3%. So we're still trying to cross that level of resistance around 38,100 and cross over to 38,200. As you can see here, we haven't been able to cross that level, and that's why I had that alert on my phone set at 38,100 to kind of give me an alert that, okay, we're at this level right here. Let's see and watch really closely to see if we can break above this. So that's pretty much how I work when it comes to my mind with long-term investments with potential, and pretty much just support and resistance levels. So support and resistance is a very, very important thing to get down in crypto, and it's definitely going to be something that you're going to want to look into. So I think I might add this to my playlist for kind of just like teaching people on crypto and stuff like that, because I feel like people can actually learn from watching videos like this, in my personal opinion. But anyways, guys, that's all I've got for today's video. If you guys like my content, definitely subscribe. Leave some comments in the comment section, because they really help me out. If there's anything that you guys think I could do better, we'll look at that. We're heading downwards some more. Let's see if we can cross below this. But if you guys see anything that you guys think I could do better in my videos, or see something that I'm doing a lot of that's good, definitely let me know so I can continue to move forward with the channel and stuff like that. I really appreciate you guys for coming through and showing support. If you made it this far, we crossed below that level, so I'm going to definitely be watching this after this video ends. But anyways, guys, that's all I've got for today's video. I really appreciate you guys for coming through and checking out the channel. I'll catch you guys in the next video.